Hey guys, welcome back. DreamRiver23 here with another tutorial for the game Gnomoria. This is part 3. If you haven't seen my other 2 episodes or tutorials, I would suggest you do those because, especially if you're new to the game, you can get lost pretty easily in here and explain a lot of stuff that you want to kind of be caught up on. So this is part 3, and pardon the burp right there. This is part 3. I don't know how many this will encompass altogether, but right now they're still learning to be learned, so let's go ahead and get started. These episodes are going to be about 20-25 minutes long, and I want to make sure that they kind of keep along those guidelines. It's going to make it a little bit easier for us to get stuff taken care of, and you guys know what you're going to be, in for. When we left off last time, the game saves randomly. Sun has risen. Yay! It is day 4 of spring, so we're 4 days in. We're already down on level -6 for our main living area and level -7 for our kind of mining area right here. We do have stone, copper, and coal that we're mining out underneath, which is great, and starting off and finding copper right away is a beautiful thing. They are getting a lot of the dirt out from our areas, and we are trying to make our distillery right over here. So, that is where we left off, and this is where we will start. So you can see the guy's still using the crude workbench. You don't want to get rid of the crude workbench until you have your carpenter, your sawmill, and your stone cutter up. After you have those 3 things up, then you can just deconstruct the crude workbench, and so you can actually use those resources that you put into it again, and that's where it's beautiful and lovely. So they are taking care of stuff, and you can see that the green highlight is showing what they're actively going to be going towards, which I like that they do that because you can actually see what they're doing. So you can see that our builder is actually going back and forth between the crude workbench and the carpentry workstation. So it's good stuff. It's good to know. Up top, if we look up here, you can see that they are working on getting the wheat farm, which is this one, and the strawberry farm working. I have the pasture still suspended, which I could actually unsuspend it so that our rancher can get a job going, because right now he's just OFO somewhere. So he's going to go over here to this yak and be like, come on, yak, we're going to put you to work. You're going to make some milk. And that's what he's going to do. So he's going to drag the yak back over here. While he's doing that, our distillery is almost done. You can see that it's green. Whenever it's green, it means that they're going to be moving stuff into there to make it work. So you can see he's hauling the barrels down, and if I put it on normal speed right now, you can actually probably see him bringing those barrels to it. This person's getting dirt. Where are you at, builder? So I actually bring the barrel over there, and he will... Basically, right now, he's constructing all the stuff, putting it together, so he has a time frame that he's going to do that in. And boom! It's done! We have our distillery, which is great, because we can actually, if we click here into the distillery, you can see that, hey, make wine. I have wine is made out of any fruit. You can specify and say, only use the oranges. I want to make an orange wine, because that would sound... I don't know. I think a strawberry wine would probably remind me of a song. We are out of grain, actually. We've used all of our grain. That's why we were waiting on... That's why we were suspending the yak farm, the yak pasture, because we were trying to get them to grow more. So maybe I should suspend this again. Sorry, can you just take off and go someplace? Can I change this? It's gonna be an alpaca. Wait, it says we still have straw. What is going on? Alright. So, yeah. Alright. So, if we go to the distillery, which right now we're not super in need of it, but we can actually set it up to where they can make beer, they can make tea with mushrooms, they can make wine with any fruit, and typically I do stick with the wine because there's typically an overabundance of fruits available in the regions, and a lot of times that's what I use, that's what I set up is fruit farms. So, I mean, we have strawberries right up there. This is an orange grove. I'll have an apple grove set up over here. So as you can see, I mean, we can keep it to where the wine is flowing. Now, while they're doing that, we are going to speed time back up again. They are going to continue to clean up the dirt, but we want our builder, since our farmers are taken care of, they're busy up top because they're working on getting all the seeds planted and everything like that. Our rancher is busy taking care of the yaks. we want to make sure that our miners right now, if they're not mining, they're going to be cleaning up the dirt, which is good. We want our builders to make sure that they have some work to get done. And we have things that we need to get taken care of too. So we're actually going to go right here. We're going to build a stone cutter. And we're going to build it up in this Kona. Stone cutter. And you can see them, they're already moving the stones and stuff like that over there to this section, which that is raw sandstone pile, so good to go in there. The piles that they can go up on there with stones is 64, so they can have each pile that they put of stones will be 64. Now things like coal, that doesn't stack. So not everything stacks in this game. Dirt can stack, stone can stack, coal cannot. I'm not sure about a lot of the other precious metals, but I don't think copper can either, or gold or iron or emeralds or whatever else there is in this game. So that's something to keep in mind and keep into consideration whenever you're building out this area, is what you have your stockpiles set up for, if that makes sense. We are going to... We actually probably have this to where it is a small stockpile as well, if we wanted to. It'll keep our people busy. At least keep it up to where you have pillars, so that way you can have torches put on the walls and stuff like that. You definitely want to keep it to where it's well lit in your area. It stops mobs from spawning down in these different areas and stuff like that, so it's something to keep in mind as well when you're building up your Gnomoria town, your underground place. So this is going to be a separate stockpile of raw sandstone. And just keeping it close to your, your areas that you have that immediate use in is always good. Now, before the first day of summer, we do want to try to have a good amount of worth into our kingdom. If we look at it right now, our total worth is 2413. It's not much higher than it was when we first started off this bit, but the construction worth is 71, so that's going up a little bit. One thing that we could do to increase the worth of this is actually to replace the floors and make different types of floors and everything like that in this area. So we could have wooden floors in our woodworking area, stone floors in here, and if we actually go down far enough, there's going to be different types of stone that we can actually check out, that we can dig down and find, which is a good thing to have. So, good bit of coal right over there still. We are going to bring this one along. I kind of want to do some exploring. Just kind of see what's going on. You can hear that he sounds like he's mining slower. Whenever they're tired, they'll mine and they'll do their jobs that they're assigned slower. So he actually fell asleep right as I was starting to say that, but you can always kind of tell that bit. Now, I don't have any a dormitory or anything like that set up. I could actually set this area up right here as a dormitory. Dormitory is just a place where a massive amount of people, it doesn't have to be anything like a personal room, but it'll allow your place, your people to sleep. And we can set this up right now as a temporary sleeping place. So that whenever they get tired, if they do sleep in there in the dormitory area, it will increase the amount of sleep, I guess, that they get. So we'll go ahead and mark that area as a dormitory for right now. Now, this right up here with the distillery, this is going to be our distillery, our kitchen, and probably a butchery area right over here. So that way we can keep all those in the same area, right? So we can have our food source will be this section right here. This will be our food. This will be our woodworking. This will be our stoneworking. We can have this area right up here as like blacksmithing and enchanting, or blacksmithing and jewel crafting and stuff like that. So you can get everything set up a little bit differently as it goes along, and that's a good thing. You want to have organization in your area so that you can kind of understand what's going on just at a glance, quick glance, and be able to see what's going on there. Now that's hidden. That is a coal section right there on that wall, which is good. So we're going to take and we're going to mine out this section as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll go through and make this one. Alright, this is going to be, we'll do a 9 by 9 over here, 9 by 9 over here. You don't have to do it this way, it's just, it's easier for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is going to be a 9 by 9. This is going to be a 9 by 9. And I'm actually trying to find something in particular that I can show you guys, but I haven't found it yet. And that's just whenever you're looking at like ravines and stuff like that, like natural ravines in the system. And it looks like that's going to be actually a good bit of coal through this little area. Which we could actually do another thing right up here, which is designate this area as a stockpile, so we can go ahead and get our food and everything like that down here. So this is going to be goods, food, and we'll just any food. And we'll do this right here, 3 by 6. This is going to be goods, drink, so any drink will be placed down on here. Now they'll start moving food and everything down here whenever that comes available, or whenever they get done working with whatever they're working on at this point in time. But the one thing to take into consideration right there is that that's a whole lot of oranges up here, up top. So they're going to be moving down. It's going to take them a while to move that down, so you have to kind of keep that in mind. It will be a lot smoother whenever they do move it down there, and but that's you know, something you want to kind of look at is don't put too much of a workload on your people, or it can kind of backfire in your face a little bit. Also, like I said before, the food and everything only stacks one high. It doesn't stack very high on here, so you can only have one per slot. So this is basically being a 3 by 6. That's 18 slots for food. We're going to counteract that whenever they get finished making the stone cutter over here. We're actually going to build a couple of crates, which is what we want to do. And that's actually found under build number 3 and then storage. And it says that we actually have 3 crates available. So let's go ahead and move those down. Pine crate, contents. It's got tons of strawberries already in here. So that automatically moved 32 strawberries right down into this beast. That's good. That makes it easy. This one right here. Stockpile. This one's got 22 of 32. What's in here? Wheat bread. It's a loaf of wheat bread. And some oranges and strawberries. And then this one right here. Contents. Cotton bandage. That shouldn't be right here. Pine crate. I don't know. So that'll work out. But see, they were able to move those down here without having to go through the whole process of making another crate on that spot right there. Now the other thing that we'll have over here moved is the barrels, which we actually might have some barrels already up there. So storage, barrel, no, we don't have any barrels made at this point in time. So if we go and put the barrels down on this stockpile for the drink, it's going to cause our worker over here, our builder, he's going to be like, oh, I need to build this. and it's gonna take away from getting other stuff built. Since he's already building a chair for the build job over there for this the stone cutter. So we'll wait till the stone cutter's done. Right now we're doing pretty good so far. We have a distillery, which is great because we can actually get drinks made if we need them. Right now we're still doing pretty good. I like to start making drinks once we get around like 35 or 40. I like to start go ahead and making drinks, but that's me. And these guys are doing fine down here mining. Looks like they were able to find some more coal. That's about it. We will want to grab this this copper right here. Let them go ahead and do their thing on this part. Alright. And we'll check on our farms. You kind of always want to be checking to see, make sure that everything is just kind of going smoothly. That you have stuff being worked on and everything out there. One thing that we don't have is we don't have a wood stockpile yet. And the reason is because I want them to try to get a lot more of this stuff down here cleaned up and finished. Because right now our builders, our miners, and everybody is just kind of working on and getting the stuff cleaned up. So you want to give them the spots where they can actually breathe. You don't want to just keep adding more work to them, more work to them, more work to them. Because then they'll just get overburdened and you won't be able to get anything actually taken care of on there. This right here, as you can see, is one of the apple trees. So we will need to eventually go out there and well not fell, but take some clippings from the apple trees. That way we can actually make an apple grove. It's always good to have. And what are you? Pine log. These are orange wood logs. An orange wood log. Yay. We do need to eventually get a couple other things built. To get beds made, you have to have the tailor shop. And to get the bone needle, you need to have a bone carver's workshop. So to get the bone carver's workshop, any knife, any chair, any table. So we can get that actually set up pretty quick. Bone carver's workshop. And then the tailor, and then we'll be able to make beds. But to make the mattresses, you need to have the tailor. It's a whole process. It's crazy. And it looks like they got the stone cutter done, which is good. Since they got that done, we are going to go ahead and set our guy up to make some storage so he can make a few barrels. 1, 2, 3. And you'll see him, he'll start getting work on that here pretty quick whenever he wakes up, because I think that's him right there. Nope, that's the rancher. You can see him right up top here. They're transplanting the trees, so they're bringing and making this orange grove. Actually, an orange grove. So you can see right now that's what he's working on, is he's actually working on the panels so that he can make the barrels right over here so we can store the drinks in there. I'm actually going to let them guys, I'm going to let them work, and I'm going to come back in whenever they get the barrels finished and kind of get a little bit more of the stuff cleaned up. I will let you guys back in if it does anything crazy or anything like that, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I am back. I did come off of this. It was instantaneous for you, but it's been probably about 15-20 minutes for me. They are still working down below, but I wanted to come back in because Day 8. This is the 8th day of spring. The sun has risen and a honey badger has been spotted. This is your first signs that there's enemies available that are around this in this area. And it starts off small. It'll be a honey badger, and the honey badger can kick your ass if you're not prepared. We are going to go on normal speed, and you'll see the honey badger will pretty much run away usually. And then it'll start to be like bears, and then it'll start to be goblins. And so we're going to talk about military strategy here shortly, but I wanted to kind of cover that base and kind of show you what's going on with this one. And I think in the next video we're going to be talking about military strategy along this. If we look downstairs here, we do have some more crates that I set up. I set up a wood stockpile so we can start getting the wood down here. It's going to make it to where it's going to be quicker for us to get the work done for making wooden items here in this section, because all of our wood right now is up top, and we have to go upstairs, grab the wood, come back downstairs, and it just takes more time out of the way than we can be actually processing and making this wood on here. So you can see that they are working. We do have our drinks and everything like that are being moved around over here. There's wine in this one, and just an empty barrel right here, and yak milk right here, because you know you gotta have yak milk. We've got our food being made and put into bags right over here, or into crates. And we have crates being made over here for our wood piles, because we will have a good amount of wood on this section. Our stone, we don't necessarily need to go through that process. But one thing that we are going to be doing, as you can see down here, is they're finishing up, kind of getting a lot of this stuff cleaned. This section's going a little bit quicker. And we're going to be getting started to set up so we can start building walls around our city. And kind of getting into that military strategy, because here pretty quick, usually on the first day of summer is whenever you start seeing goblin enemies come through, and they will destroy your citizens. It's just, they will wipe you out. And so that's what we're going to be taking care of on this one right here. But I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode, guys. We've got a lot of stuff taken care of in this episode. You can see that there's a lot of stuff moving forward on this part 3 of this tutorial. And then the next one, like I said, we are going to start working and concentrating on kind of getting a military strategy set up. I will be bringing the next one back in whenever we get a little bit more of this stuff cleaned up downstairs, so that there's not a whole lot of work that they're doing along this method. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys stick around for next time when we start talking military strategy. And until then, I am Dream Reaver 23 reminding you to game happy, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys!